Sedona is really awesome, super beautiful, really high energy, all these vortexes there. But what is it like at night, doing some night hiking? How are the energies then, maybe when there's less people around? Let's explore.
So it's about 3:30 a.m. now. Still moonlight here, so we're not picking up too much video. But I was awakened at 2:30 a.m. and at the time I was having this very interesting dream, and it was about there being a lake, and kind of at the midway point in that lake, somewhere along the lake, maybe the government, the powers that be, or some kind of unauthorized group had put up a sign, saying the lake was divided. Kind of there was a imaginary line in the lake, like a state line, and that was causing some kind of interference. And then there was sort of a protest group that was saying, there is no line in this lake. It's actually a continuous lake. It's a single, state or a single country, kind of a unity of the lake. And then right then, at that part in the dream, I felt hands around my head, and kind of loving, caring, healing hands, almost as if they were kind of hovering around my head. And then I woke up, and I was excited to potentially meet whoever hands those might be. It wasn't being afraid at all, whatsoever. It was more like, wow, this is wonderful. Somebody's here, somebody's helping, and let's meet them. So I did get up. I did look around. I didn't physically see any beings. I did see a kind of plasmoid, coming across the sky, but I didn't see any, flying saucers or anything like that. It is a very peaceful feeling here, a very calm, loving energy here. In spite of it being early in the morning, I don't think anybody else is here. It's it is a very peaceful place. And we do have a full moon tonight, and it's right behind the Cathedral Rock over here, so you can kind of see that outlined. So we're going to start our ascent, and I know there's some very early birds who are out here. Yesterday there were people slightly before 5 a.m. starting to climb up. Some very, very active folks around here. It's a pleasure meeting them. There isn't anybody out here quite yet. Might be a bit too early for that. And again, I'm not sure where the full moon is. There's this big, bright, orange full moon, and I'm not seeing it here, but I see this glow behind the mountain. So I can only think that it's hiding behind there. But either way, it's throwing off so much light that we're actually going to be able to start this climb just with that light that we have. And I think we'll be able to even do this without a flashlight, just from all the light that's around here. Let's get started. Yeah, and we are looking out for any unusual activity in the sky. And I see this bright. It is unusually bright. So if it is a plasmoid, it might be. It's like a really, really, really bright one. And we're kind of moving up the lower, flatter part as we soon get to some rocks that are going to be by the base. And there'll be a bit of a rock scramble as we get closer to the top. It looks like our first other person of the day is coming, so I guess we'll meet him or her on the way down. So starting to build a little bit of a sweat. I'm gonna need to begin to take off layers here. And we pause here for a second because there's a lot of energies on the top of the peak, but there's also a lot of energies, vortex energies, where we are right now, even though it's not the very top. And it's kind of a plateauish, ledgish, rock ledge place that is midway up, and this place also has energy, very nice energy. So we pause here a little bit to take that in, but not for too long. We're gonna proceed upward, but I did find this particular place a very good place to meditate, and I stayed here for some time yesterday. Yeah, there's that potential plasmoid again, still hanging out there. There's another plasmoid. It's kind of gliding across the sky. It's just not bright enough to have the resolution. And what it looks like we have is the sun kind of coming up on one side. The ridge and the mountains overlooking the plateau. And then on the other side we have the moon silhouetting Cathedral Rock. So definitely grateful to the signs and some trail markers that are out here enabling me to find the way up. Otherwise it would not be so easy to find. We've just made it past the hardest part of the climb. It's a rock scramble, no stairs, and after that it's going to be a bit smoother for the rest of the way up. We're continuing our approach to Cathedral Rock, getting a bit closer, starting to see the sun inch up a little bit behind the ridge line across. So we have come to the ridge that's right in the middle of the Cathedral Rocks. And this itself, it's a very good place to sit and meditate. There's actually a ledge that even goes out right along those rocks. I was out there yesterday at this hour. I don't think I'll do that. But what a gentleman named Werner showed me yesterday, and he was actually one that gave me the confidence to climb up here. Went up here with him. I was about to turn back halfway. He showed me that if we continue to walk along a little bit more, we can get into almost like a wide crevice between the cathedral points, and that's about the best place I found up here to meditate and take in the energies. So let's proceed. And we are seeing another light over here, kind of flying around. So is that a orb? Is that a plane? What that might be, I'll leave you to be the judge. So one last scramble to get into this place. And what's really interesting here, you can see it better in the light, is that there's a stream of magma that's been injected amidst the other rock, and it flows right through here. So let's begin our meditation this morning. It does amaze me. It's around 4:30 a.m. and the sun is already, maybe it hasn't reached above the horizon yet, but it's really giving off a significant amount of light, and it does amaze me, in this region at this time of year, how early sunrise is. So I'm gonna go back. I'm not gonna go too far to the ledge behind me. I think that would be a bit of a drop, a few feet here. But we have made it right in this particular point, between these kind of cathedral rocks, and we're right in the middle of the two largest cathedral points, with the smaller one behind me. And just a few feet to my right, we have that black magma, along with a birthing stone, kind of a circular shaped formation within that's just here, right in the middle of these two cathedral points. So let's take a minute and close our eyes. Let the energies come in and penetrate our minds and our hearts. Okay. So let's let this sink in. And I'm feeling some nice relaxing energy, kind of massaging my head and my brain a little bit, preparing us for this meditative experience. So be in a state of restfulness, relaxation. And let the flow ease its way in, welcome it in. Let the energy in. Feeling some nice subtle flows. Some energy starting to come out to you as well. Feeling some more activity in the front part of the head, the third eye area. You're getting some gentle hand movement, and just keep your eyes closed and enjoy these energies. They're different. They're drawing from this place, the energy of this place, the beings supporting Cathedral Rock. and start paying attention to the breath. Nice, deep breaths, but not too deep. No need to overstrain. In and out. In and out. In and out. So thank you everyone for joining. Maybe we'll be able to see a little bit more behind me now. It looks like there's some significant more light. Yeah, just turning the camera around, and I think now, maybe for the first time this morning, we're starting to have enough light so the camera can properly capture some of it. But we've got these absolutely massive, I guess what you'd call cathedral points of the cathedral rock that are up here, and we're kind of in between them in this whitish crevice, this other cathedral point here. And again, this is a place that people come to, but it's not really obvious. You have to kind of go along another ledge down there to kind of come around to it. You don't really see it from the main trail, which is on the other side of this cathedral point. And the birthing stone that I was mentioning is right here. I'm going to kind of cautiously walk down a little bit. So that magma, that black magma strip is here. So you can see that's kind of coming out in between the sandstone. It's eroded a little bit more. And that the birthing stone with the circular portion is over here. And this magma strip runs right through the center of these two cathedral points down to the other side as well.